Hello, witches and wizards, and welcome to a brand new podcast dedicated to the wizarding world, Potterwatch. Don't worry, you won't need to remember the password to listen. There'll be no doom and gloom announcing the sad deaths of families. No, this podcast will keep you all up to date on anything and everything in the wizarding world, from the upcoming HBO show to the gaming side, Lego, and a whole lot more. So I hope you enjoy your time in the wizarding world and listening to me, and hopefully in the futures some others too. This podcast will air twice a week, once on a Wednesday where we look at any news, we'll do rankings, do quizzes and just have some good old Potter fun. Then on a Friday I will be here breaking down the book chapter by chapter, so sit tight as we delve into the weeds of this amazing world. So yes, without further ado, let's get into episode 1 of Potterwatch. My name's Connor, I'll be your host, and of course before I dive in, I am a YouTuber, so I need to beg you to comment your ideas, thoughts, and anything you want me to do on the Wednesday show. This is your podcast as much as it's mine. Any questions, topics, theories, let me know what you want to discuss, what you want me to rank, what you want me to delve into. And of course, do like, subscribe to be here when the magic drops. As it is episode 1, I guess I should tell you a bit about myself. I am, if you can't guess, from the lovely country that is England, the birthplace of Harry Potter. You know, it was on a train from Manchester to Glasgow. We don't know when she started it, so I'm taking it as it was written in England, at least the very start. I'm from Manchester. I live here, where again the story started. It's all fate. But no, I'm 26. Like I say, I've been a Potter fan as long as I can remember. My first Harry Potter memory is going to see Chamber of Secrets when I was 3 years old, 4 years old. 3.5 years old. I'm born in May '99. I remember going watching with my grandma at the IMAX. She had like a free card to go there. She used to work at the um, cinema, well, the sort of museum cinema I used to go to. And yes, that was my first introduction. Then my next big memory was coming home from reception or nursery, one of the two, and waiting at home was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on videotape or VHS for anyone else. And for you much younger people, videos is what we had before DVDs. I don't even know, do youngsters know what DVDs are nowadays? They're what we used to watch before Netflix and all these streaming platforms. And yes, from there I was obsessed with Harry Potter. I always used to dress up. I remember Goblet of Fire came out, so 2005. We spent Christmas at a Butlins, and for that time I got Harry Potter Goblet of Fire PS2, Quidditch World Cup PS2, and Harry's first task as like a costume. And I won a costume competition at Butlins on Boxing Day 2005. It was a magnificent time. For those of you who don't know, I do have another YouTube channel called Harry Potter Explained, where I delve into a lot of Harry Potter related topics and make some shorts and obviously focus on the video games, which you can see behind me. So let's talk about what's behind me as well. I've just got some Marauders map, Hogwarts Legacy, the games, quiz, more books, the actual books, and the collections editions of the DVDs. There's quite a lot of it there. I'm a sad man. And going up there soon will be the 25th anniversary Harry Potter collector's Lego. I've never really bought Lego. I've never been a Lego guy, but it fell over. That's gonna be kept in the edit. Yay! It's just on the floor. Good old podcast there. But yes, that will also be going up on the shelf. So yeah, like I said, I'm just massively into Harry Potter. Really big nerd about it. Know a lot about it. Obviously, watched it so many times. Played the games. I've done everything you can do with Harry Potter, basically, and hence why I am making this podcast. But yes, the most useless fact of all, when I was in sixth form, so I was 16, so I was in year 12, which is, you know, Harry's sixth year. You go 16, 17. I was number one in the world for a whole year on QuizUp, on Harry Potter. So QuizUp was an app where you play against people around the world and you had to get the answer first. And yes, that's how much of a nerd I was. I was number one in the world. So there you go, guys. You're listening to former world Harry Potter quiz champion Connor here on Potterwatch. But that's all about me. Obviously, if you've got some great Harry Potter stories, do share them below. If there's any really good ones, I might read them out next time and we'll sprinkle them in. But of course, we're going to go on to the main discussion of this first episode, all about HBO's Harry Potter TV show launching Christmas Day 2026. Let's get into it. Say, last Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time, we finally got the first trailer for the new Harry Potter television programme that is coming to your HBO around the world on Christmas Day. I guess let's touch on Christmas Day's release date. I don't know how I feel about Christmas Day. I don't like stuff releasing on Christmas Day. Not because I'm a traditionalist. Oh, it's Jesus' birthday. We should be doing. I just like to sit with my dads, my sisters, and my family, and obviously my girlfriend. Have a meal. We go to the pub. We'll have a few. We'll have 1 or 2 pints at a pub. We'll come back, have his meal, and then we sit around playing board games. We do have a few drinks, and I just don't know if I'm gonna be in the mood. I'm gonna have to watch it because it's out and I want to experience it before it gets spoiled. I want to talk about it. I love stuff being re-released around Christmas, especially Harry Potter stuff. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is a quintessential Christmas film. Like, if you're not watching Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in the road to Christmas, you're doing Christmas wrong. But Christmas Day, yeah, not a massive fan of that, I will say. I prefer it just after Christmas or just before, maybe even like the 21st, then you start the other week, or, even just after Christmas, whatever. But I get Christmas Day. Is it a big TV thing for a lot of people? I know obviously you've got a lot of stuff on the BBC, talking from a British perspective. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to be sitting down watching it, but I am going to. So yeah, there's my tuppence on it releasing Christmas Day. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my breakdown of the trailer itself, and we discuss a few things, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to discuss a few things I've missed since I originally did this last week, so enjoy. After years of waiting, it's finally here. The Harry Potter HBO TV show trailer for Philosopher's Stone has landed, and not just that, we got a release date. Yes, hello guys, and welcome to a brand new channel, Harry Potter Explained. If you're excited for the Harry Potter TV show and this trailer breakdown, leave your comments on it down below. Do subscribe to the channel because there'll be much more coming, and of course do like the video. So yes, as I say, it wasn't just a teaser. We got a full 2 minutes of pure magic, great tidbits, and a lot more than I was expecting. Plus, we're getting the TV show at Christmas 2026. Yes, it was slated for 2027, so we got it at least a full month earlier, but I was expecting May 27, so we're getting it about 6 months earlier than I expected. But without further ado, let's go into it, break down the key parts, and just talk about what we see.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special? There is nothing special.
So it opens up with Petunia Dursley talking to Harry, calling him a normal boy. He's not special, but we all know he is. But the house does look very 90s. It does look very similar to the hallway we do see in the films again, because that started in 2000, very close to the 90s. Uncle Vernon reading the paper, and then it cuts to Harry in his cupboard.
You are a normal boy.
A lot more packed, a lot more things in there compared to the film. Much more lived in, I guess. I can't see the chess pieces. I did love the chess pieces from Philosopher's Stone, the film though, so hopefully we'll see them in there. Then cuts to Harry running in his school.
And you're going to start acting like one.
So we'll go see Harry at primary school, yes, in year 6, running away from Dudley and the gang before being cornered in the toilets. I wonder if we'll get the infamous line about not having anything as awful as your head down a toilet. I know that was during the summer holidays, but they're taking a few liberties, so I'd love to see it here. Then the final shot is the haircut.
You think you're something special? There is nothing special.
We do hear about Harry talking about the horrible haircut Petunia gave him to hide that horrible scar. And looks like we'll get to see that. I don't think it's just any haircut. Then, very menacingly, Petunia points some scissors at Harry. It looks like she's going to kill him. Thankfully, she doesn't.
About you.
It then cuts to Harry receiving his letter, and the envelope and the letter itself is a bit more minimalistic. Again, different compared to the films. We don't see the coat of arms on the back, of course, but the one in the film seemed a bit pouchier, a bit sturdier, and the handwriting of Dumbledore a bit more magnificent. But again, really small thing. It's a cool letter. It's got all the right things. We then cut to Harry on the underground.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever, and they stood up for what they believed was right. The next time I see you, we'll be in Hogwarts.
A cut scene from the film, actually, you can see this with Robbie Coltrane and Daniel Radcliffe, but we're definitely going to see it here with our first look as Nick Frost as Hagrid, where he's talking about how brilliant Harry's parents were. And voice-wise, pretty good. Again, I'm not going to be here to nitpick and say it was better in the films, but Robbie Coltrane, again, you still think of him, don't you? It'll probably take time to grow. And then, of course, we see them leaving the underground elite scene, and sort of they were pitching London doing this before Hagrid says, the next time I see you, you'll be in Hogwarts. So again, it looks like we'll get that sort of leaving shot rather than Hagrid taking Harry to King's Cross and just magically disappearing like the film, which I like. And then the final shot before we cut to another cutaway is Harry on the Hogwarts Express. We've seen pictures of it this week. It's basically the Hogwarts Express from the films, which I like. And Ron and his mum are having a nice hug before he comes on the train. Then we see the Hogwarts Express arriving at Hogsmeade Station again. It feels almost like shot to shot of the film, this one. It did feel like very much the most film-like thing I've seen in this trailer, which I did like, the sort of train approaching in the dark. Obviously same train, sort of same platform almost. We then see Hagrid with a very funky hat, it looks, leading the kids up a forest path. Don't know if this is after the harbour or before to get to the harbour. I'm guessing it's before the harbour. But then we see his infamous knock, and we've heard rumours that this is where the first episode, at least, or maybe the second, because we're talking about 8 hours now, will end with that infamous knock, just like chapter 5, I believe, or 6 ends with that knock. I believe it's chapter 6. And you then go into the entrance hall.
Mr. Potter.
And wow. Very different. It does feel very bookish, how it's sort of described in the books. It's very long, there's crazy staircases everywhere. A bit AI, but that's probably just me being a bit mean. It'll probably again grow on me. The entrance hall, very bookish, very different. We then cut to McGonagall, who again looks much more like she's in the books. She was strict, not as brilliant as Maggie Smith was. She obviously was a bit older. Strict, black hair, little thing in her head. We then see her new sorting hat. Looks like a student picks it up rather than McGonagall, which is a bit interesting. I'd love to know that. We don't really get to see much of the Great Hall to see if it's the same Great Hall from the films or if they've gone for their own one. Obviously, if it's a different entrance hall, I'm guessing it's going to be a different Great Hall as well, but I feel like that is so iconic. Will it be good? I just don't know. We then cut to Harry walking about the school.
I think we can expect great things from you.
And it gave me Hogwarts Legacy vibes, this shot. The shot here, where he's looking at the hall, where the staircase behind him, it reminds me a lot of the Charms corridor in Hogwarts Legacy, if you've played that, and then he looks out towards the steps. Very, very busy, very bustling, a lot busier than probably the early films were. The Half-Blood Prince did a sort of good one. When he's about to go to potions, the school seems very busy. Same with Order of Phoenix. The early films seemed a bit empty at times, but this looks very bustly, very busy. But yeah, definitely giving me Hogwarts Legacy vibes of how it's done. We then cut to Ollivander, and again, he's talking about how great he's going to be. Let's see what you're going to be like. You know, stuff we've heard before. I do like the look of Ollivander, but I'm not too sure who's actually playing him. And then he hangs Harry's wand. It's a very gristled wand. Does look a bit like what Harry's wand looks like later on in the series. Like 4, 5, 6, 7. But it's dark. It's got the sort of gristled end. He then hands it to him and says, "Let's see what you'll be." It then cuts to Harry in a class, and it's a very big class, like it's a very lecture hall theatre class, which makes me think it is history of magic, but the teacher doesn't look like a ghost. I can't tell. You can sort of see the head, you can't really see the body, so maybe it is, but the head doesn't seem very ghosty. It seems almost visible and almost like a Dumbledore head mask on the guy. I've tried to zoom in, and obviously it's got a projector and the sort of like a castle on. Is that going to be what the castle looks like? And this is a history of Hogwarts Castle. I'm not too sure. It's a, you know, you can zoom in and sort of see a few things. It could be what Hogwarts Castle is going to be like. But yeah, what do you think this classroom is, and what class is it? And then it cuts to Harry taking his notes. We then see Harry in the Gryffindor common room, and this again gives Hogwarts Legacy of Art vibes. There's sort of 3 layers to it. It's very big, you can see people over the banisters. It sort of zooms up, you know, you got the cushions, the couch. It is different again to what we know of, but it's still the Gryffindor. It still feels very Gryffindor common roomy. It then shoves to Malfoy, Crabbe Goyle and Pansy Parkinson whipping out their wands, showing how hard they are and cool. Again, just a shot of them, you know, nothing much more to talk about. The corridors look very Harry Potter, feel quite filmy actually. We then see the unboxing of the Nimbus 2000.
Let's see who you are.
And this time, it's an actual box. Again, it's been a while since I've read the books. I can't remember if in books there's a box or if they could tell it's a broomstick, because obviously in the film they can't. It's just wrapped in a broomstick. But this time we've got like a box. It's got like fireworks on. Swift as a snitch, it might say. It's got sort of covered up, and then Ron and Harry do a cute little dance before we see the Quidditch game. And this is the second game of the season, so it's not the Slytherin one. It's the Hufflepuff game. It's in snow. You see sort of Friend George going on. You see all the other guys, and it looks like you then see Harry, Ron, Hermione in the crowd cheering along with all the others. The Quidditch pitch, you don't see any of the stands. You just see the smaller stands, which, again, you don't see too much of it to see what it could be like. And then you see Harry, it looks like he's got his broom covered. But what we do know is we're going to see the Hufflepuff game, which means we'll go see Snape flying in a broom. And we'll touch on that in a second, because I'm sure there's going to be some idiots complaining. You then cut to Herbology. They were all wearing sort of like this overall yellow protective gear, which makes sense if you're getting down and dirty. You wouldn't want to be wearing like shirt and tie. The Hufflepuff, again, very Hogwarts Legacy vibes from the Herbology, sort of quite big, sprawling, big tree in the middle, a lot bigger than the ones you see in the film. Just a bigger sense of scale, I guess. And a bigger class too. There's like a good 40 people it looks like could be in this class. From where the camera is, I mean, it sort of zooms around. It could be big. We then see Ron and Harry in their very 90s gear, sort of 90s overalls, sneaker trainers, big puffer suits, and it does look like the real Great Hall, which makes me think they've used the actual Great Hall, because I don't think you can beat the Great Hall. Like other areas you could probably beat, I don't think you'd be beating the Great Hall. They're running across the tables. I'm guessing it's at Christmas time, sort of everything's empty. You sort of see a wreath on the fireplace, and again, the fight, it does look very great, like the real Great Hall, a little bit different. What do you think? Is this the same Great Hall? Is it a different Great Hall? I'd love to know your thoughts. Then we see Ron and Harry fighting on the train when they've got the sweets, having a little kickabout. You see the sort of chocolate frogs and the Bertie Box beans, sort of wrapper, I'm guessing, and you got your pumpkin pasties. And lots of other chocolates. I think you can even see Scabbers sleeping there on the pillow, which is quite cool. It then goes forward to Ron, Hermione and Harry having a little snowball fight, throwing snowballs. I'm hoping we get to see Friend Josh throw them at Quirrell's head. And then this amazing shot of Hagrid just doing a snow giant, having the time of his life with his, again, Hagrid likes this hat, he's wearing it again in this scene. We then see sort of, again, very Hogwarts Legacy like flooring. This almost gives me Astronomy Tower vibes in the game of Defense Against Dark Arts Tower vibes of how it's laid out, again from Hogwarts Legacy. We see the Quidditch team going for a little huddle in the changing rooms, and then Harry walking to the game. Obviously we saw this shot yesterday with him in the snow, walking with his robes on. They're making some little marshmallows at Christmas, Ron and Harry. So again, we're going to see a lot of just sort of downtime, sort of having fun, smiling, eating. It then cuts to Hermione just having a girl smile at someone. We then see our first Snape scene. I'm not too sure what this scene could be. Maybe it's in the restricted section scene. He sort of points his wand out, looking very serious. And again, I'm not, people have had some horrible opinions on this, sending him death threats, stuff like that. I just can't wait to see how it performs. Like I say, people say you can't go from Alan Rickman, so do something different. And it looks like they are here. Like, he's the same right age, as long as he's got a good deep voice and he performs. I'm not going to be caring about anything else with Snape. It then cuts to Albus Dumbledore, and he's got a fork. At first, I thought, it's a bit illuminated, but that doesn't look like a cigarette lighter at all. He's got a little hat on, he's going somewhere, he's looking very mysterious. I wonder where he is going. It's just a turnaround shot of him, so again, nothing too much to give away. What do we think? Is that the illuminate? I just don't think that's a cigarette holder. A cigarette lighter, sorry. So I don't know, is it just a fork? Is it a lantern? Because you sort of see the bottom of it. I don't know. What could he be holding? And then it cuts to the three kids, backs turned, just walking down the corridor again. And then we get this scene.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Where Ron, Hermione and Harry meet for the first time. I won't lie, this is the least favourite part of the whole trailer for me. It's when he asks, are you really Harry Potter? And then they look at him. It's a bit out of sync, like Hermione shouldn't be there at this point. Hermione should be appearing much later on. And Ron does this just weird, like, yeah. And of course he's got his dirt in his nose, and we're going to find all about that, because why wouldn't we? And then we see the new sort of font. It gives me a bit audiobook vibes. As cool as it looks, it's very audiobooky. It looks like I'm going to buy the new audiobooks. But, you've got fairly Harry Potter font. I mean, it says Christmas 2026. So there we go, guys. What do you guys think of all this? Like I said, I'm torn. Some of it looks actually really impressive. Some still looks a bit rubbish. I just got to wait and see more, watch the episodes. But like I say, you'll come back here for more Harry Potter news, theories, stuff like that. That's what all this channel's going to be dedicated to. Do leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you all soon for another video. Bye-bye. So yes, that was my breakdown of the trailer, and there are a few things I do want to discuss that I sort of missed, didn't touch on, or just want to expand on. And first up, the Hogwarts crest. What is that Hogwarts crest? The little twigs and the trees with the little H, They're very obsessed with trees in Hogwarts. Like, there's some in the entrance hall. There's a few dotted around the castle, and yeah, the crest just in the books. If we're going to be book accurate, I've just been reading Philosopher stuff because obviously episode 2 will be coming out. I've just got to chapter 3 making my notes, and this was specifically in my mind. Like, was it described like the coats of arms like that? And it wasn't. You've got the coats of arms of the snake, the badger, the lion, the eagle. Which should be a raven. Ravenclaw. Come on, Raven. It's in the name. That's probably for another day. I know there's genuine reasons why it is an eagle before anyone goes off at me. But it's never described as this weird little twig H. So what's that about? What are your guys' feelings on it? I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't like how it looks. Get back. I've got it'll be somewhere behind me, won't it? The actual crest of Hogwarts. We then have the scene in the Great Hall where they're running. I originally saw, and I watched the Super Carlin Brothers. I've not watched them for years because this might be an episode about, how I fell out of love with the Super Carlin Brothers and their theories, because they become so far-fetched, and I love them. And I'm listening to their breakdown of the books. Obviously, I've been listening to that forever. I'll still listen to that, but I've stopped watching their actual videos. Because when you get theories like once the well's dry, the well is dry, and they're stretching thing. But anyway, John Carlin thought it was the troll, and I sort of saw that, it's a big leg, but then I realised it's daytime for one, it's Christmas, and it's Fred or George's leg, because he's at the table where the camera is, so the camera's running across one table. Harry and Ron are in the background, so it's obviously Christmas Day, and they're just having the time of their life because Hogwarts is empty. But yeah, not a troll for anyone wondering, because I did wonder for a second, what the hell, we're going to come back into the Great Hall, but then it's daytime. So yeah, don't worry, the troll, it's not the troll. And of course, I miss Ginny. You see her 1 or 2 times in the train station at King's Cross. So yeah, they're the sort of little things I missed. Now I want to actually do quite a serious talk, not about Sirius Black, who, if let's be honest, might be in it if he's giving Hagrid a bike. You know, I don't know. We will see. But not a genuine serious talk about um Professor Snape. And look, before I start, people can have opinions that they don't think he's right for the role. You know, from the description of the books, things like that, or they don't feel like it is. And I'm going to give him time, because I've come right to the opinion. When I first saw it, I was like, what are we doing here? Sorry, cool. What like, but I'm gonna give him time. I want to see how he performs. I actually don't hate the look. I hate the zipper coat, zipper jacket he's wearing. Not a fan of that. But everything else, I can live with for now. But what I can't live with, and it is strife through the Twitter community. I don't even know if they're Harry Potter fans or if they're just people. It's just the racism. Like, people are talking about, how it's going to become a racist story, or you know, James and Harry going to be racist. These people are the ones making AI slop shit edits, like the pure shittest of AI of Snape making potions with fried chicken from KFC, and you know, oh, I've got a gun, oh, I'm rapping, oh, like all the black stereotypes wrapped into one, pushed into Snape. And other people saying, but story's gonna be racist, or Harry's gonna go accuse the first black man he sees of stealing stuff, and they're the people being horribly racist. Like, I saw a tweet earlier and I retweeted it. I'm just gonna get it up right now, and so it was of an AI shit slop, absolute crap of Snape in potions class, and he's got. You'll probably be seeing. I'll be sure skill because I don't want to see it. He's reaching into a KFC bucket. He's got an American accent. None of it is about racism. Nothing about it at all. It just keeps keeping the character same as books. But obviously the stuff is. It's just racism, and yeah, they're the racist people making like all the black stereotypes about Snape. Think it's funny. It's just not. It's awful. It's crap. It's just pathetic. Like the death threats, things like that. Absolute nonsense, and it needs to stop. Like, yes, you can have an opinion. You might not think it's right, but wait till it happens and base him on his performance, not his looks. I know it can be integral of a character. Like, you know, I'm sure we'll survive. That Snape is not Alan Rickman's doppelganger. And people say about Adam Driver, what would he be? Like, just let it go. It's not happening. It's just not happening, guys. Just let it go. You can have a few problems, but there's always a step, and a lot of people are crossing that line and step at the moment. It's horrible. It's rubbish, and yeah, it just should not be happening at all. But what I do want to go into now is the weekly release. I know we talked about the sort of release date before I went into it, but let's now talk about the weekly release. Again, I'm not against it. I don't know why we need all 8 episodes. Like, why do you want to ruin that for yourself? Just sit in for 8 hours and then you've got nothing. So I love weekly releases. I'm not part of. Again, I'm like the old man shouting at clouds in this podcast. I'm making a podcast, so that probably puts me in old man shouting at clouds automatically. I feel like podcasting is a very old man, mid-20s. I've got a microphone. Let's talk about something. I've got a degree in journalism, though, so I've got an excuse why I can do podcasting. I've done it for quite a while, but why can't people have stuff released weekly? Why do you need it all there and then and now? Like, it's over. Like, where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? I come from an era where TV was released weekly. You know, I know I'm only 26, but I have lived like half the old life as well, where, you know, I had to wait every night or every week to watch a new cartoon or a new a Simpsons episode, or you know, something I really liked that was on every Saturday. And I had to wait, and it was exciting to go, right, at 7 p.m. that night, I'm going to be watching that. And when TV shows do it now, it's deemed as like a bad thing. You know, some TV shows do it where you can get 2 or 3 episodes at once and then they're releasing another 3. Or some, like, I remember the Obi-Wan show having to wait every Thursday, and the excitement and build-up and listening to podcasts. talk about what might happen, the breakdown. That's what's fun, talking about it, the anticipation. Sometimes actually watching it's the worst part. You're like, oh, waiting all week for that. But the actual week in between is brilliant, and none more so than Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is my favourite show of all time, and having to wait like a week between episodes, especially season 6, especially the time when they split it. So no spoil. I won't spoil anything for Better Call Saul. Just go watch it. Best TV show ever. There's a split at a certain point, and then having to wait 2 months. That anticipation, the talk, everything. You're waiting for that last episode after the week before. That's the best part, and I love discussing it, talking about it. And obviously with Harry Potter, you don't need to talk about it. Some people will because they won't have read the books. They might be young. They've never seen the films because I don't know why they've not seen the films. But yeah, and I guess it's just people young just want it all now, want everything at the moment. Just click of a thing. No, wait, watch. It's fun. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Waiting 1 week per episode, talk about, oh, I wonder what we'll show next, where we'll get up to. Because we do know the story, so it's not like I get that sense. It's like, oh, what are we waiting for him? Just for him to go to Diagon Alley? We already know it's Quirrell. And if you didn't, I'm sorry, it's Quirrell, not Snape. Spoiler alert. But yes, that's my point of view on that. And then, obviously, more importantly, the wait between series, not seasons, because this is Britain. This is a British TV show. It's a weird saying British TV show for Harry Potter, not British movie anymore. British TV show. Obviously, we heard from head of Warner Bros, whose name I've conveniently forgotten, but he was doing an interview yesterday where, because there's been conflicting things where it's not going to release yearly, you might have to wait a long time, where, oh, we don't want people to wait a long time. And it's like, you sort of do need to do that because, yeah, you don't want to become the Stranger Things of 2020s, 2030s, where Harry is 47 years old fighting Voldemort, and we've got an AI version of John Lithgow because, sadly, it's been 30 years we've been filming this and he passed a long time ago. It does have to be quite quick. And like I say, you can take a year and a half. Maybe that first 1 or 2, try and get them out in a year. A bit like Chris Columbus did, and David Heyman, obviously, who's still there now. Try and get 1, 2, 3, maybe out in like a space of 2.5 years. Then you sort of can just relax, right? 40. We can sort of have a 15-year-old play 40-year-old, 16-year-old play 40-year-old, and again, a bit like the movies, I can have Harry. I know Daniel Radcliffe was about 20 playing 17. I can have him at 19. Take 9 years to make it 7, or take 10 years to make 7. I think we're fine. Anything longer, we're really pushing it, and it becomes a bit shit. Especially if, like I say, John Lithgow, bless him, he's 80. Sadly, there is a time clock, and Father Time comes for us all. And yeah, we survived with Richard Harris and Michael Gambon, but you don't want it to happen again, do you? I love John Lithgow, so I of course don't want him to pass, but it's something that will happen, sadly. It happens to us all. So yeah, but they have already said that series 2 is in the works and getting written. Again, something I'll be doing in this podcast is like 1 episode a week. We'll sort of go, how will we make Foster Stone a TV show? 8 hours, here's how I'd lay it out, and we'll see how right I am. We'll probably come back when the show comes out. It's like, oh, did I get episode 1 correct? Did I get episode 2? And we'll do that for Chamber all the way through to Deathly Hallows, because I mean, there's no guarantee we will get Deathly Hallows as a show, because it could be cancelled. Something could go drastically wrong. We could all blow up and the earth explode. Who knows? But it's more likely we'll get cancelled than any of the other stuff. But you never know, because they are pumping a lot and lot of money into this. And sadly, the actress, sort of like the Golden Trio's wages have been released at like £500,000 each. Like, why is that important? Who needs to know that? We're kids. Like, just why we try to bash him about that? I hate the media. But this brings me back onto a topic. I'm going to show a little clip because I've softened my stance now on is this series actually necessary? And it was after the original picture was released. I've got like a little clip here from a sort of piece to camera put together. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I'll probably chop it up because my stance has softened. So this was when last Tuesday the original picture of Harriet going to the Quidditch game was released, and I was very vehemently against this thing, like, oh, don't want it, why are we doing it? I've softened after seeing it, I have softened my response. I still am in the camp of like, do we actually need this for as crazy as I get to talk about in a podcast or whatnot? Like I said, I don't want you to think I'm just fanboying over this because I do have issues with it. So yeah, take it away, past Connor, and we'll come back to talk about two last things on the TV show. Have you ever wondered why Ron had dirt in his nose in Philosopher's Stone? Because I haven't. But exciting news, the new Harry Potter TV show will explain all. Why?
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Yes, we got some news surrounding the upcoming Harry Potter TV reboot. I won't call it big or huge, I just call it news. Because really, why are we doing this? Now, I'm going to be honest, from the very outset, from when this was announced back in 2023, I have been sceptical and just unmoved by this. I really am the old man shouting at the clouds. In my day it was better, but really, why are we doing this? And do we need it? Well, do we actually need anything? The answer to that, probably not, except oxygen. Will this be good? It could be, but is it really going to be? I just don't think so. Going to take you back through the years of Harry Potter. When you think of Hagrid, you're going to be still thinking of Robbie Coltrane. When you think of McGonagall, it's Maggie Smith. You think of Harry, I still think it will be Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, the film series where they could get some of Britain's best thespians to shout some silly words for about 2 minutes. The film surely can't be displaced. You think of John Hurt as Ollivander, Barty Crouch Jr., David Tennant, Barty Crouch Sr., Robert Lloyd Park. The amount of people they managed to get for a film or a scene, it is insane. Look, I'm intrigued by it all, and I will watch it. I am a Harry Potter fan after all. Heck, I've got a YouTube channel dedicated to the series. I've got so much money behind me. But this show, I just don't know why we're here. Well, I do. Fantastic Beasts failed from a money point of view. I actually really like The Secrets of Dumbledore. Unpopular opinion maybe, but Warner Bros. Need money, as we've seen by their sale and acquisition by Paramount. We are going to look at some of the other things they're including soon, but let's just face the reality. The Harry Potter films are iconic. I've talked about some of the actors and characters, but it's not just that, it's the music. I love Hans Zimmer. Is he beating Hedwig's theme, Fawkes' theme, Lily's theme, even Harry in Winter? It's synonymous with Harry Potter. The sets, I mean, Universal have Hogsmeade, they have the castle, Japan has the Ministry. You can go to Legion and walk around all the sets from the films. I mean, it's just magical. We know they're building a new Diagon Alley. Is it beating the set from the film? Probably not. The Great Hall, perhaps the most iconic set of them all, stepping onto that York stone floor is an experience like no other. Do they use the same? If so, why are we doing this? The castle design does change from film to film, but I mean it's still just etched into your memory. You're not beating it. And if they go for the same, I mean surely, Hogwarts likes to use the castle. If they don't, which is some from awful pictures from yesterday, doesn't seem the case. Which one is the real Hogwarts? For theme parks, studios tours? Which one's the real Harry Potter? It's also blurred.
Wow, we're identical.
Marketing wise and going forward, do we forget the last 25 years and now this is the true Harry Potter? I mean, just look at this. Yes, steam trains can't look much different, but this is just the same train. Sorry, no it's not. This train is 5977, not 5972. If you think I'm being a bit over the top about this, I probably am. But Chris Columbus also holds similar views, as he was befuddled when talking about the look of new Hagrid. Columbus described it as a deja vu moment. I'm seeing these photos, and Nick Frost is wearing the exact same costume that we designed for Hagrid. Part of me was like, what's the point? I thought the costumes and everything was going to be different, but it's more of the same. It's all going to be the same. And it's a fair point that you could say, well, how can you make it a bit different? And you describe like that in the books, you do a perfect job, you the costume designers. But if everything is going to be the same, what is the point? This is basically asking your mum, can we have Hagrid? And she goes, we've got Hagrid at home. But seriously, I think that it all started with good intentions. In their original press release, they said that it's going to be faithful adaptation of the books, include things the films couldn't do due to time or just missed. Yeah, I'm for that, seeing Peeves, Ludo Bagman, Tom Riddle's memories in Half-Blood Prince, but then they have looked at the first book and thought,
Shit. shit.
There's not enough for 8 episodes, is there? If you've watched the films, you'll know Chris Columbus and Steve Kloves managed to fit pretty much everything from the first 2 books in, minus maybe an extra 20-30 minutes of content, so that would take them to around 3 to 3.5 hours long. So they've panicked and thought, right, what else can we add? I know. How did Ron get dirt on his nose? Why don't we explain why? Brilliant, chuck it in. Except it's not. Any logical person would just think, probably from flu powder or something. I know that's one small thing we're wanting to include, so let's take a look at some of the others. Just while recording this, they have released a picture of Harry walking to the Quidditch pitch. It does look pretty good, I will say that. It obviously looks very similar to the Potter films, and again, it's what's described in the books. You can't go too far and crazy, but it does look good. And more excitingly, they said something will be coming tomorrow. The Hollywood Reporter say it could be a trailer, so I guess, like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts. Maybe I'll do something on that. I'm really good at this YouTube stuff, aren't I? But anyway, back to going on the website. So here we are on Wizarding World Direct. Obviously this will be linked below, and it says excitement is building around the upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Several invited guests have already had the chance to step on the set and experience some of the most iconic locations from the Wizarding World firsthand. Early impressions reveal a production that is both faithful and beloved to the universe and rich to details that fans have never seen before. And of course people will be saying that, you know, I know people invited to this stuff, they're not going. Some come out negative, most won't. They're just grateful for that opportunity. And look, we've got the Hogwarts Express, which, like I say, it's the exact same one. You could probably actually change that up, but you know, if that's what it's described like, again, not bothered. But this is the part I want to focus on. One of the most exciting takeaways from early set visits is the series' commitment to stay true to the books. For example, it's already been confirmed Peas, the poltergeist will finally appear. A character notably absent from the original films. They did wrong him in, you know. It was the brilliant Rick Mayhill still got paid for it. They just couldn't get it to work. CGI 25 years ago. Boo-hoo. Additionally, the creators seem eager to expand on small but memorable details from the novels. We'll be able to experience on one character's point of view. The hints certain moments will be given deeper explanation, such as the reason why Ron's mysterious mark on his nose during the Hogwarts detail fans have long wondered about. Who are these fans? I want to meet these fans because they're nutters then. Why are we bothered about that? But also, Hermione receiving a Hogwarts letter. Okay, cool. What's that adding? You know, how are we doing that? Because it's Harry Potter. Does it add up? Deep look into Dumbledore's past? I don't mind that, especially if we're going to get my guy Jude Law back. I'm happy about that. The introduction of Nicholas and Pernell Flamel, again, I don't mind that, especially connected to the Gringotts robbery. If you get stretched out, Dumbledore goes speak to them about it. Right, we're going to move it. Perfect. Again, not too bothered. Full pensive memory sequences, still in the order. Pensive memories about what? Is this in Philosopher's Stone? What we need to see memories about? Classroom moments like Professor Bing's, again, don't mind that. And Gryffindor's Gold Dormitory, again, okay, cool, but like I say, the pensive one, bit confusing. What memories? The Dumbledore and Nicholas from Elfin, I'm fine. Classroom moments, yeah, of course, show me Professor Bing's, you know, we've confirmed he's in. I struggle to stay awake, that's fine. Gryffindor's Gold Dormitory, what's that adding? Are we seeing Hermione do something? Really? Doesn't add too much. What comes next? As more behind the scenes images emerge, fans can expect additional confirmations, surprises and deeper insights. So yeah, like I say, this will all be down below, but just what is it? What's it for? Some of this stuff. What are we doing it for other than they've spent at least 100 million per episode I've seen. Again, you'll see that over here at the moment, the Warner Bros. Chief talking about it today. They've pumped a boatload of money, a shitload of money. They need to get something out of it. They need to stretch it. It can't just be 4 hours long, which probably Philosopher's Stone could be 3.5 hours. They need to add this extra crap. Like, are we going to spend 2-3 minutes explaining Ron's nose? Again, I'm probably just shouting at clouds, being angry for no reason, but it does seem all a little bit pointless to me. Well, there we go, guys. So there we go, and I still harbour some of these views, such as dirt on Ron's nose. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Well, I don't need to know about dirt on Ron's nose at all. Like, he doesn't wash, flu powder. If it's because he doesn't wash, I don't want to know how scruffy he is. But no, some of the stuff, like the Nicholas Flamel stuff, cool. Maybe even seeing Quirrell break into the Gringotts, or attempt to, cool. You're sort of expanding the stuff. I don't mind that. But at the same time, do we need this? It's 25 years on. It's not a long time. The films are still good. Like, kids think Philosopher's Stone, yeah, Quidditch looks a bit janky, the troll looks a bit weird, but some of that stuff, like the book with the mouth that comes out and the face, that is amazing still. Voldemort on the back of Quirrell's head, brilliant. In Chamber, looking better. Prisoner, nothing looks janky to me. Goblet, wow. Order, Half-Blood, Death of Hallows, everything looks perfect. You know, nothing's really advanced that much since then. But yeah, if we're saying that, like, kids are saying, like, yeah, we know it's all about money, like saying Fantastic Beasts failing, stuff like that. And I've got to be partial, like I say, I'm more excited for it, or excited, but I'm less not bothered by it now. Like, yeah, cool, I'll watch it. I think it might be good. But let's get into 2 points from the trailer that are really sort of irking me. First up, the darkness. Everyone's commenting on it. It's just got that blue wash that just blehness of television has nowadays. You know, someone always said to be adolescence paint. So if you don't know what adolescence was, it was a one-shot sort of TV show about a boy who had murdered a girl because obviously he was a little dick who watched like the Andrew Tates of the world, you know, stuff like that, the toxic masculinity. And it's just got that dreariness to it. Like, where's that warmth and magic? Like, people say it's just gone straight to like Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire has still got beautiful lighting. You tell me about the Quidditch World Cup, you know, the hill where the portkeys on. Some of the lighting in that film is still amazing. This has just got. It's dark. It's just, even when it's light, it's just got no colour and filter and joy, and everything's just bland. And it just sucks everything out of it. Like, people have been comparing what Philosopher Stone, the film looked like the train scene, for example, that sort of, just the brightness on the screen. I'm not asking it to be rainbow and sunshines every day. I mean, it pisses it down a lot of the time here in the United Kingdom. I don't need it to be all happiness, but just everything. Just a bit grey, a bit boring, a bit bland. And this is meant to be a sort of magical world. Make it stand out from the rest of television. Don't follow television. Yes, some studios and things like that have path, but break the mold. You know, you bring the colour, you bring that excitement and magic and warmth, especially these first 2, even 3 films. You know, there's still some really good stuff. You like when playing Quidditch, win the World Cup, sorry, the Quidditch Cup. You know, just bring that to it, and it just lacks it so much, and it's just bleh. And that's something they probably can improve on and will probably take away. I think they will sort of make things a bit brighter and lighter, hopefully after seeing fan reaction, etc, etc. And my other one was the music, but this is being talked about and confirmed. Apparently, this was not Hans Zimmer. Sort of a generic sort of just music on the trailer, about like you hear on every sort of trailer about a hero and diving into a world. It's like, yeah, that's not magical. It's not Harry Potter. And look, as I say, Hans Zimmer's amazing. Is he going to be at the top the sort of brilliance thing? It is a bit of nostalgia, and it is just a bit of, you know, I still listen to them, and Patrick Doyle, John Williams, Nicholas Hooper, Alexander Desplat, their sort of music is so iconic and synonymous with the series. Like, the Harry Potter films, if you take away the music, the scenes, it's like, oh, put the music back, it's like, oh, this is brilliant. You know, Harry and Winter, Hogwarts Hymn, obviously Hedwig's theme, one of my favourites, Leaving Hogwarts, the end of the first film. Trust me, you take out Leaving Hogwarts from when Hagrid and Harry are like hugging and stuff, no chance that's got the emotion. Will we be able to get good music for a TV show? I don't think I've ever really thought of a TV show where it's like, you know, oh, it's music, not like the actual themes, you know, like, so like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul have like good musical stuff, like The Way It Takes It All, you know, something stupid, stuff like that. But you don't think of it for music, and that's what I do worry about, because I think half of Harry Potter's amazingness comes from its music, and without that there, like change of seasons, I just think it will lack a bit, and I'm concerned. Obviously, if we've gone for a sort of generic flat tone, sort of just do 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 in the trailer, what we go see, we need to see something from Hans Zimmer. It's gonna be like, yes, do we incorporate, because like the other guys for Fantastic Beasts have incorporated parts of Hedwig's theme, because I just feel like you have to. It's synonymous with Harry Potter. You've got to include it somehow, I feel. Even playing on it. But yeah, the music is probably my biggest worry from that. But with all that, we've talked a lot about the HBO Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I thought to end this off, we'll do this every week. We'll go do some quizzes. We've got 2 today, just for the bonus first episode. It's all about Philosopher's Stone. So let's hop over to the Harry Potter website. So here we go. Our first quiz is all about spotting the difference between Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and the Sorcerer's Stone from the UK edition to the US edition, from sherbet lemon or lemon drop to crumpets or English muffins. Do you know the difference? So we've got 10 questions. In which book was Dumbledore's favourite Muggle sweet called a sherbet lemon? That is the UK version. Of course it is. Hagrid rode a motorcycle in which book? That's got to be Sorcerers. I feel like we call it a motorbike. Yeah. God, Americans. Dudley's new word was shan't in which chapter? Well, I wonder where it is in Sorcerers, like, if they're not saying shan't. Ooh, a beater's bat was... Yeah, that's obviously Sorcerers, because we called it a rounder's bat. Hermione has bangs. That's so American. Bangs. Oh. In which flavour is a boat? So I'm guessing in the Sorcery it's called burger. At Halloween, Harry helps himself to a jacket potato. That seems very British, yeah. Wonder what it's called in America. Weasley jumper is again very nice and British. That's so American. We do call them crumpets. Like, class books. No, textbooks. I feel like one of those people like that, sort of TikTok, the American and British way of saying things. But yes, aced quiz 1. Let's get on to quiz number 2. So here we go. We're doing a behind the scenes quiz for Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone. 10 questions again. Let's see how we do. First things first, who's the director? Of course it was Christopher Columbus. Who can not remember him? It was released in the year of 2001. Who was cast as Albus Dumbledore? It was the good old Richard Harris. We're free for this. Is not very hard. I thought it was going to be a hard miss. Which castle was used as the location for first year's flying? It was Alnwick Castle, and that is up in Durham. I've gone to actually Alnwick. I've been to Newcastle. Lovely, lovely place. When was the first scene shot? So the options are 1st of January, 30th of August, 29th September, and 8th of November. And I know this to be the 29th September because Chris Racking, who played Percy, always used to tweet about it. And which scene was it? It was the final scene where Harry said goodbye to Hagrid. Again, some great behind-the-scenes documentary stuff. In the first film, Professor Snape's potion classroom was filled where? This wasn't Durham Cathedral, was it? I think it was the Lacock Abbey. Yes, I knew it was an abbey, and I knew it wasn't Whitby. Roughly, how many boxes were created to fill Ollivander's shop? Oh, 25,000 seems way too much. I'm going to go 11. 17. Who was chosen to play the role of Quirrell Crail? It was Ian Hart. But bonus point for me, David Thewlis, who ended up playing Lupin, also auditioned. During the first day of filming, what did Emma Watson wear? It was fake buck teeth. So 9 out of 10, not bad at all. The average score is like 4.5. That's pretty bad, guys. Like, not being funny. Pretty bad. And with that, our first episode has come to an end. Just like Lockhart said, spooky how fast time goes when one's having fun. I do hope you've enjoyed the first of hopefully many episodes of Potterwatch. As I said at the very top, let me know your thoughts on the podcast itself, the TV show, and anything you want me to discuss in future episodes. Of course, do come back Friday as we dive in deep to the first chapter of the first book, The Boy Who Lived, and start on our mammoth journey through Harry's journey from the doorstep of number 4 Privet Drive to the final duel in the Great Hall. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out the channel, and while you're at it, check out Harry Potter Explained, my main channel. Until next time, have a great day, and goodbye.